Hey, 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 Aspen Mountain peeps. Happy Thursday to you. Hopefully you have a wonderful day. Been a long morning for me. I've been here since about 6 o'clock this morning doing a training for nationwide plumbers. Today we talked about water softeners and water conditioners. Letting the handyman do your plumbing, is there a danger in that? We're going to get into that here shortly. It's an untold story, and I've got a story that goes with it. First of all, if you're watching this on Facebook, you're watching live, type in live. If you're watching this on replay, type replay. Let us know where you're watching from. I love seeing all the comments where people are watching from. It's all over the United States, all over the world. It's kind of cool. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification button, and get reminders every time that we do go live. There's a wealth of knowledge that we spill out every time we do one of these lives. And it might be just something simple, but we do spit something out to you. Letting the handyman do your plumbing, is there a danger in this? Now, I want to give you a story of what happened to me just recently, and I want to explain to you how this set up. We got a phone call from a customer, and the customer was having some issues with water pressure. And so we went over and we looked at the home, and the water lines had been reduced down to 1/2 inch from the meter, and the entire house was feeding off of a 1/2 inch line. Now, pressure should stay about the same in the 1/2 inch, but the problem is when you kick on one appliance and then kick on another appliance, you're going to draw too much water, and that 1/2 inch isn't going to be big enough and sufficient enough to actually carry the actual pressure you need. That's where the knowledge of a handyman and the knowledge of us actually as professional plumbers who have been trained in this profession comes into play. And there's a lot more than just water line sizing and doing gas work and things like that. There's also a lot that can go into it on other ends. In this class I was doing this morning, we were talking about doing a water softener and a water conditioner and the differences. And then the question came up, well, can't somebody just buy a water softener at Home Depot and install it themselves? And the answer is yes. Of course the person can do that. But having a handyman doing it, or a person that does it themselves, a DIYer as we call them, can lead to other problems. And the reason is this, is they don't know the whole system of the house. They don't know the whole system of the plumbing, how it works, how it operates, how it creates pressure, how it reduces pressure, how it restricts flow, how it does different things. And here's the fine example. We had a call for a water softener the other day where the individual had put it prior to the sprinkler system. And the problem with that is the water softener restricts flow down almost 3 to 4 gallons when you put a water softener in. So what happened is their pressure coming in, if it was at 50 psi, they just now brought it down to 45 psi. And that can be a huge difference when you're trying to run a pressure triggered switch such as a sprinkler system, a solenoid switch. And that could be a huge issue. If you're trying to get pressure up to pop those sprinklers up, and you got 20 psi coming in your house, or coming out of the filtration system, or out of your softener system, and going into your sprinkler, that could be an issue. Now, as plumbers, we're taught that you always repipe the sprinkler system to in front of the water softener or the PRV to stop that from happening, so you're not having a restriction in flow in that sprinkler system staying up. But as a handyman or as a do-it-yourselfer, you wouldn't know that. And so there's a lot of detail that goes into plumbing that the handyman or the do-it-yourselfer doesn't know. For case in point, for example, we had a situation several weeks ago, about a month ago now. Josh called me up and took some pictures of it and said, hey, this apartment complex flooded. And they had hired a handyman to come in and do some repairs on it. And that handyman had put in a shark bite system on there. Well, what he didn't realize is that shark bites are meant for temporary use. They're not meant for permanent behind-the-wall use. It flooded the entire complex, all because he put this temporary fitting on there and it blew apart based on the pressure. Now, if he would have had the knowledge that we have as plumbers and the education that we have that tells us that with pressure you can't put a quick connect fitting on it, or in a certain size you should not ever put a quick connect fitting on it unless it's temporary use, just a patch to get your proper stuff, that would have never happened. Thousands and thousands of dollars of damage caused because somebody didn't know what they were doing with the system of the home. And that's the key. That's the hidden story. The handyman might be able to do the work, but he doesn't have the complete knowledge to plumb this in. Now think about this. You're talking about your sewer, which takes waste away with bacteria, and you're talking about your water, your drinking water, the stuff that you bathe in. If that gets contaminated in any way, and with a lack of knowledge of how not to do that, that could happen. You could be getting bad things coming into your water system, or have your bad stuff going out leaking into the ground or leaking into your water system, for all we know. There's a danger to using somebody with no education, and there is a very, very safe thing of using somebody with the education. Make sure before you have anybody do your plumbing that individual is educated on codes, that individual is educated on how to do things and has a knowledge of the system. And you can ask them simple questions, such as, do you have a license in the International Plumbing Code here in Wyoming? That's what's required. If they don't have that license, be very wary of them because they don't have a knowledge of the codes. If you ask them, are you a licensed and insured company? Make sure that the licensing isn't just a city license. Make sure that license is more, because you might be getting fooled and not even know it. These are some tips from us as the professionals. Have a wonderful Thursday. Have a great day.